cashier asks what you are doing later. The transaction is already finished. Still, you grip the checkout divider. Why does that feel safer? The line moves, but your body stays arranged. One hand keeps the retractable barrier close. You prepare your face before looking up. Small talk feels hard when access moves too fast. The words are small. The sudden visibility is not. It feels immediate. Behind you, another shopper steps toward the register. You finally release the divider, then notice how tightly you held it. Nothing personal was requested, yet your shoulders had already prepared for eye contact, timing, tone, and the chance of being read incorrectly. The purchase is finished while your body still feels displayed. At the condiment rail, a stranger reaches for the sugar jar just as you set it down. You slide it back too quickly and apologize twice. Courtesy should feel easy. Instead, one shared object creates a tiny moment that now seems to need the right expression. The cafe grinder starts as someone asks whether you come here often. Its moving handle and dark hopper give you somewhere to look. You begin answering beneath the noise, relieved that your mouth is briefly harder to watch. Why can a simple reply feel exposed? A volunteer presses a temporary name sticker onto your shirt. The white rectangle is ordinary, useful, and easy to read. For 1 second, it feels like a small piece of access has been placed on your chest before you decided to offer it. Inside the building vestibule, someone greets you by name. Your hand tightens the tote strap against your shoulder. The movement buys almost no time, but your body uses it anyway. Recognition has arrived before you have chosen what comes after it. It happens instantly. A friendly participant turns toward the name on your chest. Before they finish greeting you, your palm rises and covers half the sticker. You are not rejecting them. You are slowing the speed at which presence becomes identity. The sticker has done exactly what it was made to do. That is what makes the reaction confusing. It feels like forced readability. At the dispenser, the paper cup fills and the stream stops. Someone asks how long you have worked here. You keep the cup beneath the silent spout, as if busy hands can delay the moment when a name must become a history. The waterline stays still near the rim. Your grip does not. The harder part begins before any answer. Your mind checks which details sound normal, which invite more questions, and which could seem cold if omitted. A 3-second reply becomes editing work. The other person only sees a pause beside the dispenser. Nothing outward has changed. By the time you step away, the answer is smoother than the truth. Not false, just compressed into something easy to receive. The cost is small but real. You leave the dispenser with the feeling that one harmless question required a polished version of you. The effort remains invisible to everyone else. The elevator doors close with another resident inside. You watch the floor indicator instead of their face. There is nowhere else to stand, so every shift of your shoulders feels visible. Why does a weather comment include your whole body? The space feels smaller. One floor takes only seconds. Still, you decide how much eye contact is polite, whether your silence looks unfriendly, and what your folded arms might imply. The conversation stays small. The amount of yourself being monitored keeps growing. Each second makes that work feel stranger. The glowing floor number changes, but relief does not arrive. You notice your breathing, your feet, and the angle of your torso. Being observed has turned into self-observation. 2 conversations are happening now, and only one is spoken aloud. The indicator offers facts, while your face seems to offer evidence. A Salon cape fastens close around your neck. The stylist asks an easy question, while the mirror now keeps your face in view. You can see every reaction before they can. That makes each smile feel less spontaneous and each pause feel more public. Your mouth forms a neutral smile in the glass. Then you check whether it lasted too long. The stylist has not demanded anything unusual. The exhausting part is trying to control what every tiny reaction might tell them about you. A tiny delay starts looking like boredom, tension, or hidden dislike. A fitting room attendant hands you a number tag. You turn it toward your body before walking down the corridor. The gesture is almost invisible. It gives one temporary fact-less surface area, even though nobody appears interested in reading it. You barely notice. The corridor narrows between closed doors. Another customer steps aside, and you make yourself smaller than the space requires. This is not fear of conversation. It is the body trying to reduce how much can be noticed at once. The floor gap feels useful. For a moment, the other person looks away. Your shoulders drop before you choose to relax them. That automatic release says something important. The strain was not in speaking. It was in staying ready for your posture to be interpreted. The release arrives when nobody is reading the change. And that is the quieter problem. In the clinic waiting bay, a clipboard rises against your chest. Its top edge tilts higher. A routine question about the appointment feels larger than its wording. The answer may reveal why you are here, how worried you are, or what you prefer to keep private. Someone beside you asks whether the wait has been long. Your first answer is already ready. The second answer never arrives because it would explain why every minute matters today. Small talk can brush against personal meaning without knowing it has. That shift is silent. Nothing unsafe is happening. The acrylic edge catches the overhead light, and the room stays calm. Yet your body treats each follow-up as a request for more access. The question remains ordinary. The possible interpretation grows around it. Calm rooms can make privacy feel thin. A locker key winds tightly around one finger. Someone asks whether training went well. You search for an answer that is honest without opening the reason it mattered. The key presses deeper while your face tries to look easy. Metal presses into skin. Other people move through the aisle without rehearsing their exits. You notice their quick nods, unfinished replies, and ordinary silences. They are not offering complete versions of themselves. They are simply letting the interaction remain incomplete. Their partial answers do not look dishonest. After they leave, a pale pressure mark circles your finger. The conversation caused no damage, yet your body carried the effort of controlling its meaning. Every detail was screened before it crossed your face. What looked like shyness now looks closer to constant interpretation work. The mark remains after the words disappear. Before entering the office corridor, you catch your face in the mirrored door. You soften your mouth, lift your eyes, and practice a neutral greeting. No one has appeared yet. The pressure to look understandable has arrived before the person. You do it automatically. Then the door opens and another worker passes quickly. They offer one distracted hello and keep moving. Your prepared expression has nowhere to go. The effort was real, even when the social moment barely existed. You had prepared for an inspection that never came. But here is the strange part. What if you are not avoiding people at all? You may be avoiding the job of making every visible detail easy to explain. Forced readability turns a small exchange into a full-body task. That is why quiet contact can feel heavier than serious conversation with someone trusted. Back at the workshop, the name sticker is still visible. A participant looks toward it and says your name. This time, your hand starts to rise, then stops beside your shirt. The label stays readable. The rest of you does not become public with it. A library aisle opens between tall shelves. You step aside as another person approaches, but you do not lift anything between you. The distance remains simple space, not a shield. Both people can stay present without closing the gap. The shelf light stays soft. The other reader glances up. You return a small nod, then look back toward the shelf. No extra smile appears to repair the briefness. The contact is real, even though it remains narrow. Connection has not disappeared. That small limit does not insult anyone. Your shoulders settle before the aisle is empty. That change is quiet enough to miss this time. You are no longer trying to prove warmth through constant availability. A limited exchange can still be respectful, and an unfinished one can still be complete enough. At the bookstore counter, the clerk asks whether you found everything. Your hands stay flat beside the counter edge. No object is lifted. No rehearsed smile arrives. The answer takes one beat longer than usual. The clerk simply waits. Nothing bad follows it. That brief silence once would have felt like a visible mistake. You might have filled it with a reason, a joke, or more personal detail than the question needed. Now the pause remains between two people without becoming an emergency. What happens when the space is not repaired? The clerk stays present. You stay present too. Your answer is small and honest. Nothing opens wider than you chose. Small talk was never difficult because every question was deep. It became difficult when every question seemed to require a fully readable self. The pause remains unfinished, and nobody rushes to repair it. Connection can begin before full access is granted.